Now that we're going to get more regulatory green lights, we're seeing institutional investors focus on this new asset class. And as they're learning about it, they're saying, wait a minute, this new asset class, or this component of a new asset class, Bitcoin, is going to reach 21 million units out there, 21 million Bitcoin out there at its peak, and no more from there on. Where are we now? We're already above 19.5 million units. And so supply demand, they're doing the arithmetic, and we see 1 million to 1.5 million by 2030. The probability of that has increased because of institutional.
Popular hedge fund manager Cathie Wood has doubled down on her $1.5 million predictions for Bitcoin by 2030. For several years, Cathie has been bullish about leading cryptocurrency and the entire digital assets space. But she has become even more bullish since President-elect Donald Trump's historic victory at the polls. Cathie believes blockchain technology and other disruptive technologies could grow swiftly under a Donald Trump administration, stating that federal deregulation, a known hallmark of Trump, could drive innovation swiftly in the coming years. Cathie is quite optimistic that we are about to witness a radical shift in the global economy, driven by the rapid advancements in 5 disruptive innovation platforms: artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, robotics, genomic sequencing, and energy storage. She likens the convergence of these technologies to the revolutionary impact of the telephone, electricity, and internal combustion engine in the early 1900s. However, she contends that this new wave of innovation will produce an even more dramatic economic shift. While those earlier technologies spurred a 5-fold increase in real GDP growth, Cathie predicts that these 5 platforms will generate an unprecedented economic boom. In a recent interview with Bloomberg Television, the ARK Invest founder, CIO, and CEO reiterates her $1.5 million prediction for Bitcoin, likening the leading cryptocurrency to digital gold, which is more appealing to institutional investors because of its very finite supply. As we bring you clips from Cathie Wood's video, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks for the support, and enjoy the video.
If you look at the performance of our funds since the election, they've far outpaced the market, outpaced the Mag 7 and so forth. So I think what the market is beginning to say is this administration is going to support innovative strategies, anything that will accelerate the growth, increase the productivity of our economy. Deregulation is going to be, we think, a very large part of that. Tax incentives, tax rate cuts as well. You mentioned perhaps the cutback in government spending programs. You know, in our mind, government spending, longer term, is taxation in one form or the other. It's got to be paid for with increased taxes now, increased taxes later, or basically through inflation, inflating away the debt. So we think that's going to be very positive, this drive towards increasing the efficiency of the government, which will then limit the kinds of tax increases we've seen over the last few years, and perhaps even continue to roll back taxes, leaving more for the private sector at the expense of sort of inefficiencies in the government sector. In terms of turbocharging growth, I think if tax rates, if this administration is going to cut tax rates, the most important thing it has to do is make sure they're retroactive to January 1st of 2025, because, and we learned this from the Reagan administration, if they defer or phase in tax cuts, businesses and individuals will wait for the lower tax rates, and that can weaken economic activity. Beyond that, deregulation critically important. I think one of the reasons venture capital has had so much trouble during the last few years and strategies in the innovation space, especially in life sciences, is because M&A has been prevented by the FTC. That is going to change. So we are finally going to have price discovery as strategic buyers bid for these innovative companies. We'll see how much they're really worth. This has not happened in a long time.
Yeah.
We also think, therefore, there will be liquidity events for private companies into the public world, which is also going to become very important.
Cathie has expressed strong enthusiasm for President-elect Donald Trump's return to the White House, anticipating that his policies will significantly boost the U.S. economy. She draws parallels between the current economic landscape and the early 1980s, suggesting that Trump's proposed tax cuts and deregulation could mirror the economic expansion experienced during President Reagan's administration. She anticipates a reduction in government oversight through reforms of major regulatory bodies such as the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and the Federal Trade Commission, FTC. During her interview with Bloomberg, the ARK Invest CEO said she anticipates a flurry of mergers and acquisitions among startups during the Trump administration due to expected shifts at the Federal Trade Commission and other regulatory bodies. Mergers and acquisitions have been prevented by the FTC. That is going to change, Cathie noted, adding that this would facilitate price discovery as strategic buyers bid for innovative companies. Above all, Cathie is extremely bullish on Bitcoin, which she says will reach $1.5 million in less than 6 years. Here are more clips from the video.
Well, what's interesting about Bitcoin today, now that we're going to get more regulatory green lights, we're seeing institutional investors focus on this new asset class. And as they're learning about it, they're saying, wait a minute, this new asset class, or this component of a new asset class, Bitcoin, is going to reach 21 million units out there, 21 million Bitcoin out there at its peak, and no more from there on. Where are we now? We're already above 19.5 million units. And so if institutional investors are looking at this new asset class more seriously, and Bitcoin is really the first of its kind in a new asset class and will be, we believe, the biggest opportunity of them all, they must consider an allocation. And so supply-demand, they're doing the arithmetic, and we see 1 million to 1.5 million by 2030. The probability of that has increased because of institutional. Well, I think it's a very big idea, and it's not just speculative. It's a global monetary system that is rules-based, it is private, it is digital, it is decentralized, and it is backed by the largest computer in the world, or the largest computing system. It's the most secure network in the world. So that's very important. Gold would be in the same category. Gold is a store of value, and it is fairly scarce. What's interesting, in the last year, with the last halving this April, the increase in Bitcoin, the number of Bitcoin per year, the percentage increase, dropped to roughly 0.9% per year. That is below the 1% long-term growth in the supply of gold. So it is becoming even more scarce than gold. And the difference between gold and Bitcoin is when the gold price goes up, as it has, production goes up, the rate of increase in the supply goes up. That cannot happen with Bitcoin. It is mathematically metered to go up now 0.9% per year for the next 4 years, and then the supply growth will be cut in half again. So we think you can use gold as a guide in terms of what this asset class is right now, at least. It's very definitely a store of value, a digital store of value, and it's a very big idea from our point of view.
Current global economic forecasts indicate a deceleration in growth to approximately 2.6%, a decline from the historical 3% average over the past century. However, Cathie offers a remarkably more optimistic outlook. Her research anticipates an extraordinary 8.5% growth rate, even under conservative assumptions. She attributes this potential economic boom to the convergence and exponential growth of 5 key innovation platforms: artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, robotics, energy storage, and multi-omic sequencing. Currently valued at $19 trillion in the global equity market cap, these platforms are expected to soar to an unprecedented $220 trillion within 6 years. Cathie believes the Trump administration will provide the deregulation and pro-innovation policies needed to accelerate these platforms' growth trajectory, positioning them to revolutionize the global economy on a massive scale. According to the hedge fund manager, Trump's pro-innovation policies will include deregulation, tax cuts, and reduced federal spending. In addition to being pro-innovation, she believes these policies will stimulate economic growth and create a more business-friendly environment for sectors like digital assets and artificial intelligence. Do you agree with Cathie's optimistic predictions for cryptocurrencies and other disruptive innovations? Please share your thoughts and observations in the comments section below. If you've enjoyed this content and want to see more, hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow and reach more amazing people like you. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support means the world to us and keeps us motivated to bring you more exciting content. Let's grow this community together. Thank you for being part of the journey.